Hey creatives, we already know what time it is. We know the tutorial we have today because this is the second style for the Ankara beaded bag. The first style, the tutorial is already up on the channel, and this bag is just chef's kiss, I tell you guys. Honestly, this is my favorite, and I think I'm biased because it's black and I think it literally goes with everything. But this is a very easy tutorial, okay? So make sure you also check the first tutorial, this purple one. It's already up on the channel. Make sure you check that out. And this is the bag here. I made it with this matching top, and I crocheted those sleeves as well. So I made the top and the sleeves to match the bag, so you guys can get a feel of how it looks like to match your bag and your clothes. Without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. This time we don't have that many materials like the first video. You just need your 10mm beads. I'm using a 0.7 fishing line, your scissors, needle and thread, your measuring tape, your Ankara material. I'm going to talk about the board in a second. You need your Ankara material and obviously your board. I'm using a square one, and this board is 5 by 5 inches. Okay, I'm going to talk about the square board in a minute. Then you're going to need elastic. I forgot to put that. You're going to need O-rings and a chain for your bag if you do need one. Okay, now for your board, guys, I recommend you use a wooden board for this tutorial. Do not use your transparent or clear acrylic board. For this tutorial, use a wooden board, just so that you don't waste your transparent acrylic board. Okay, use a wooden one. And if you want to make any other shape with this, I am going to recommend you glue your material to the board. In this tutorial, I did sewing. Okay, when it gets to the sewing part, I'm going to explain how you glue. So for me, since my board is 5 by 5 inches, I decided to cut my material. The sides were 5.5 inches, 5.5 inches. That is a quarter inch on each side, because I need this Ankara material to fit like a glove. Like I just left not even up to half an inch of space to sew. Okay, so I'm just cutting it on a straight line like this, so that I'm just going to fold and sew. As you can see, the allowance that I left is so small because I knew if I was going to leave large allowance, like I'm going to make the Ankara material is going to look big. Okay, so I'm just having little space because I want this board to fit like a glove. I want the Ankara to fit like a glove, I mean. Okay, so this is what I'm having. This is what I'm having. So my board was 5 inches, or is 5 inches, and my Ankara that I've cut is five. The width, sorry, is 5.5 inches. Okay, so a quarter inch on each side. So you're just going to flip it to the back. Sew on the back, please. And you are going to sew two sides. So we have three sides open. I'm just using a pin to pin it in place. So we have three sides open. I'm just going to sew two sides, then I am going to fit it on the third side. Now, if you have a wooden board, this is going to work perfectly. This is not a wooden board, but by the way, this is my glass board. And since I was going to fit it inside, I didn't bother taking out the covering. Okay, so if you have a wooden board, guys, glue your material. And if you want to use glue, please don't use the glue from the glue gun, you know, that plastic glue. Use glue like the Ohu gum. Just glue that you can actually cover the whole board with it, and you place the material on top, then smoothen it out. I hope I'm making sense. But if you don't want to go through all the gluing, you can sew it like I just did. I sewed two sides together. I have one side open, right? And I'm just going to fit it in. Now, if you're doing this back with other shapes, let's say it's a six-sided shape, please use the glue. Okay, I don't think this method is going to work perfectly with the sewing. Use the glue. For circular shape, you can get away with using the sewing. You're just going to sew half the circle, fit in the circle, then sew the other part. Okay, so now you can see my Ankara. It fits. It fits, or the board fits inside the Ankara. Okay, now I just need to make sure it fits even more, and I'm going to use here the mattress stitch. Okay, when I was sewing the entire square, the two sides, I use the running stitch. If you have a sewing machine, go ahead and use that. But here, to sew it close, so it looks seamless, you're going to use the mattress stitch, and the mattress stitch is just going from left to right. Insert your needle from bottom to top, left to right, bottom to top, just like that, like you see me do. And you're going to have this thread running in the middle, and you're just going to pull that thread after you've gone like 5 times. Okay, you're going to pull it. In my case, I wasn't showing it properly, and at one point my thread even got cut because I was pulling it too hard. But don't pull too hard, just make sure you pull it enough that it covers. Okay, so I'm still going left to right. I don't know if you guys noticed, you saw me burning the edges just so it doesn't fray, like it doesn't start coming apart. Okay, so you can burn your own edges as well. So I'm just going left to right, left to right. Then I'm going to pull. And you guys, honestly, the mattress stitch comes out very neat, but I was literally in a hurry in this tutorial, so mine didn't come out as neat as I wanted it. But we move on. Yeah, so try to make yours as neat as possible. Okay, as you can see, it fits like a glove in there. Okay, if you want it to fit even better, like I said, you use the glue. Okay, use like the uhu glue or whatever glue people use in making gluing like the normal Ankara bags, okay, or gluing material to like carton or something. But don't use a glue gun, okay? It's going to make your work to be bulky, and you're going to see hills and valleys in your work. You don't want that. So I just used a needle to show out all the holes of the bag, okay? I just went through the entire bag, the holes with the needle. And here I'm just heating up another needle. This is literally the bottom of a rat tail comb, and I'm just making sure that those holes look like I can clearly see them. Okay, so I'm going to start with the top part of the bag. And the top part of the bag, I like to use the side that I did not sew on. I like to leave that side on top. So insert your fishing line into the first bead, and you are going to cross with that first bead. Pick up 3 beads, bead on the left, bead on the right, cross with the third bead, like so. Okay, I'm going to zoom in very soon so you guys can see clearly. So insert your fishing line into the following hole, like that. Pull it from the bottom and go back into that crossing bead right there. And I'm going to show you how to attach your beads to your board again. So insert the bead into your left fishing line, right fishing line, and you're going to cross with the third bead. Then insert the fishing line which is closer to the board. That's the fishing line on my right. I'm going to insert it into the next hole. So those holes, you just need them big enough for your fishing line to pass through. Okay, then you go back into the crossing bead. I hope it's making sense. Then you repeat the same thing until you get to the end. And when you get here, you're basically going to do a turning bead, and right here my fishing line is already in the last bead of the last hole of the row, and that last hole of that row is basically the first bead of the next side. Okay, so you're going to pick up 3 beads and you're going to cross, insert your fishing line into that same hole because it's the first bead of the new row or the new side that we are starting, and then you are going to pull. You're going to insert it into the crossing bead and you're going to pull. Okay, right, so I've put an announcement on the community section of this channel, so please you guys should check it out. And basically, let me summarize the announcement, but I think you guys should really read it because there's a lot of stuff there that is about the channel. I'm no longer going to be doing like beginner friendly tutorials on the channel. I'm going to be doing tutorials assuming that you already have an idea on how to bead. Okay, I'm not going to be doing stuff that beginner friendly. Just go ahead and read, go to the community section. I basically posted the video today, the same day, so you can check the date of this video as I'm posting this video. You can check the date and go to the community post there and find out what I had to say. I said a lot because I cannot be doing beginner friendly videos again like that, because I have an entire playlist for beginners. If you don't know how to cut your fishing line to turn and all that, you can go and be referring there. I cannot be showing it in every single tutorial, so please just read the entire post. So right now we are at the end. I'm just going to insert my fishing line into the very first bead of that row. Then I'm going to pick up 2 beads and I am going to cross with the second bead. Okay, so you just need to make a mat around the entire square. I don't know why I was counting it because it's a square. All of them are like the same size. Okay, right. So the next thing we are going to be doing is building the sides. And this is a basic building the sides, like using the matting method. Okay, so you just pick up 3 beads with one end of your fishing line, cross with the third bead, then insert your fishing line into the following bead on the side, pick up 2 beads and you cross with the second bead, insert your fishing line into the following bead at the side again, pick up 2 beads and cross with the second bead. And I'm going to do this until I've built the sides of this bag or this board here. And after I'm done building the sides, I'm going to do a second board exactly like this. Okay, so building these sides, you can do however many rows you want depending on how big or how wide you want your bag to be. In my case, I did 3 rows, so these are the 2 sides that I did. In my case, I did 3 rows on each side. This is the third row that I'm just finishing up right now. I finished it up with 2 beads. Now I picked up 1 bead, inserted the 1 bead into the first bead of the other side, and I'm doing a basic joining here. Insert the fishing line on your right into the following bead, fishing line on your left into the following bead, and pick up 1 bead and you cross. Okay, this is a basic joining, how to join parts, 2 parts of a beaded bag together. So you're just going to do all of this joining until you get to the end and you have a nice box. So the total of my side is 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yes, I have a total of 7 for the sides. Okay, so you just do how many rows you want to do. So this is it. This is a nice boxy look. And the next thing we are going to do is the handle. So you're going to grab your material. I did just 1 Ankara handle. You don't need to do a material handle. You could do a beaded handle, or you could get a silver handle, a pre-made handle already. So my Ankara material was 7.5 inches, and I have my elastic here. So the width of my elastic is like 1.5. And please, when you want to cut your elastic, let me just say this, mine is too long. Okay, mine in this video is too long. The length of your elastic should be 3/4 the length of your bag. My bag is, let me just give an example. If your bag is 8 inches, right, 8 inches in length, your elastic should be 6 inches. So you're going to sew your elastic. In my case, I was too lazy and I used fabric glue. Yes, I used fabric glue, and as you can see, it did glue and it was not going anywhere. You can wash it as well. Let me just put that out there. Depending on how strong your fabric glue is, but mine is quite strong. Then I just flipped it inside out to make sure that the right side is facing me. Okay, this is a basic tutorial on how to do a scrunch handle. I have that full video, even though I did it in a satin. And a satin material is basically the same thing on how to do like a scrunched handle. I know this is fast, but the tutorial is on the channel. I'll link it in the description box if you do want to see that. So take your safety pin, put it in the elastic. By the way, you can make the length of your handle to be the same length as your measuring tape, okay? Or you make it lower, it should be 50 inches. Let me just put that out there. Make sure your Ankara that you're using for the handle is actually quite long, so it's going to scrunch up beautifully. So insert the end of your elastic that has the safety pin first into your tube that you have here. Then you're going to leave about 1/2 inch gap or 1/2 inch space for the Ankara. Then you're going to sew your elastic onto your Ankara. Okay, you're sewing it from the inside. Remember, you're sewing on the elastic from inside. Don't sew too close to the edge of the elastic, or because it's going to come out. So just go ahead and sew like that. Make sure it's nice and firm. And when you're done sewing, you don't really need to cut off the thread. You can still leave the thread on there because we are still going to use it. And now I'm just going to move my elastic in a straight line. Make sure that my elastic is nice and straight. and I'm not also twisting the fabric as well. So I'm just going to move it until I get to the other end. As you can see, it has scrunched up so nice and so beautiful. If you want it even more scrunched up, make sure you have very long fabric, right? Or a shorter elastic, because elastic stretches, so it's preferable to make your elastic to be shorter, right? I hope my sense is making sense. Okay, so I'm just shifting the elastic back on the inside, and I'm going to sew it the same way I did with the other side. Okay, so sew it, make sure you leave an inch space or half an inch space. So when you sew it, you're just going to fold it. Okay, fold it the way you see me do in the video. Take your O-ring. I'm using a key ring here. You can use whatever ring that you have. Then I am going to sew that ring. I'm going to sew that fold over the ring to the scrunched up part of the scrunched up part of our handle. Yes, this is so hard to explain. So I'm just going to sew that. I'm going to sew that down. Okay, I'm just going to sew it. Then you're going to literally repeat everything that I've showed you guys on the other side. I'm going to repeat everything that I've just showed you guys on the other side. Okay, if at this point you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and guys, please go to that community post and read it. Okay, it's very important. This is going to stop confusion on the channel and you asking questions that I've already answered in that community post. Okay, so I'm done with my scrunch handle now. I just need to make what is going to hold the handle. So I just went to the midpoint and I picked up 2 beads on the fishing line, crossed with the 3rd bead, and then I'm going to insert the handle. As you can see, our handle is nice and scrunched. I'm going to insert the two ends of that fishing line into the handle, and then I am going to pull it, pick up 2 beads again, and then I'm going to put 1 bead on the left fishing line, and I'm going to insert that fishing line into the next hole that you see me inserted right there. And then I'm just going to insert the other bead on the other fishing line, and I'm going to tie it, and that is basically my handle holder. Also, if you want to know how to drill in your own holes into your board, into your acrylic board, I have that video on the channel as well. Some of like one line of the holes of this Ankara beaded bag, I put in the holes myself. So if you want to know how to put those holes in yourself, you can go ahead and check the video. I'll leave the link in the description box. Okay, so as you can see, our handle is nice and fixed. All that is needed is, which is not really needed, it's optional, is to put this chain. So I like to put the chain by sliding it inside the holes and linking it together, so that chain can act like I can make it long, so it can be a crossbody bag. I can make it short, so it can be like a shoulder bag, or the scrunch handle can act like a handbag as well. Yeah, so that's it for this tutorial. Nice and easy. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. This bag is so lovely. If you do recreate this bag, please send me a photo so I can, you know, make a whole compilation of what my subscribers created. Yeah, so I literally wore this to church, made the entire outfit, and I was so excited. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.